My ex? She's probably still serving coffee somewhere. Marcus laughed to his business partners. They were waiting for the mysterious CEO of Williams Enterprises, the billionaire who could save his company. The restaurant doors opened. His laugh died. It was her. Natasha walked in wearing clothes worth more than his car. Behind her, 4 children in matching designer outfits. They had his face. She sat at the head of the table. "Hello, Marcus. I heard you've been talking about me. Shall we discuss that before or after the business deal you desperately need? But before we dive into the full story, let me know where you're watching from and what time it is. Now, subscribe to the channel and let's get started. Natasha? Oh man, I have not thought about her in years." Marcus Reed laughed and picked up his wine glass. He sat at a large table in the Sterling Room, an expensive restaurant on Michigan Avenue in downtown Chicago. The floors were white marble. The chandeliers were crystal. Everything sparkled under the lights. Marcus wore his best suit. His tie was dark blue. His shoes were polished black leather. She was just a waitress at some diner, Marcus said. He leaned back in his chair. I needed someone on my level. Someone with ambition. She is probably still pouring coffee somewhere. Tom Bradley, Marcus's business partner, shifted in his seat. He was a thin man with gray hair and wire glasses. He did not laugh. Jennifer Cole, the other business partner, looked down at her plate. She was in her late 30s with short brown hair. She also did not laugh. Marcus did not notice. He took another drink of wine. She worked at this place called Sam's Diner on the South Side. Greasy burgers and bad coffee. I mean, she was nice, but let's be real. She was not smart enough for me. Tom cleared his throat. Marcus, maybe we should talk about the pitch instead. I'm just saying, Marcus continued, Natasha had no education, no goals. I made the right call leaving her. She is probably still living in some tiny apartment, barely making rent. Jennifer looked uncomfortable. She glanced toward the restaurant entrance. Marcus! What? Marcus laughed again. It's true. I dated her for like 6 months. She was pretty, but that was it. No future there. The restaurant doors opened. A tall woman walked inside. She wore a black dress that fit perfectly. Diamond earrings caught the light. Her heels clicked on the marble floor. She walked slowly with confidence. Behind her were 4 young boys. They all wore matching black suits. They looked around 4 years old. They walked in a line, holding hands. Marcus stopped talking. He stared at the woman. She had dark brown skin. Her hair was curled and fell past her shoulders. Her face was familiar. The woman walked closer. The 4 boys followed her. Marcus looked at their faces. They had his eyes. They had his nose. They had his smile. Marcus's chest tightened. He could not breathe. The woman stopped at the table. She looked directly at Marcus. Her expression was calm. Her voice was clear and strong. Hello, Marcus, she said. It has been a long time. Marcus opened his mouth, but no words came out. I am Natasha Williams, the woman said. She turned to Tom and Jennifer. CEO of Williams Enterprises, thank you for meeting with me tonight. Tom and Jennifer stood quickly. They shook her hand. Miss Williams, it is an honor, Tom said. His voice shook slightly. Natasha smiled at them. Then she looked back at Marcus. I hope you do not mind. I brought my sons. She gestured to the 4 boys. They sat down in the empty chairs beside her. They looked at Marcus with wide, curious eyes. This is Julian, Natasha said. She placed her hand on the first boy's shoulder. He had short, curly hair and sat very still. This is Marcus Jr. The second boy fidgeted in his chair. He looked around the restaurant. "This is David." The third boy held a small toy car in his hand. He did not look up. "And this is Elijah." The fourth boy smiled at Marcus. "Hi," Elijah said. Marcus could not move. His face felt hot. His hands were shaking. Natasha sat down. She placed her purse on the table. She folded her hands and looked at Marcus. "I heard everything you said about me," Natasha said. Her voice was calm but firm. "This restaurant has an open floor. Your voice carried across the room. I was standing by the door." Marcus's stomach dropped. "You said I was just a waitress. You said I was not smart enough. You said I am probably still serving coffee and living in a tiny apartment." Tom and Jennifer looked at each other. Jennifer grabbed her coat. "I just remembered I have an early meeting tomorrow," she said quickly. "Me too," Tom said. He stood up. "We should go." "Wait," Marcus started. But Tom and Jennifer were already walking toward the exit. They did not look back. The door closed behind them. Marcus was alone with Natasha and the four boys. Natasha leaned forward. "Let me tell you where I actually am, Marcus. I own Williams Enterprises. We are worth $1.2 billion. We have offices in 12 states. I have 400 employees. I live in a mansion in Lake Forest. I drive a car that costs more than your apartment." Marcus tried to speak. "Natasha, these boys are 4 years old," Natasha continued. She looked at her sons. "I was pregnant when you left me. Do you remember that day? You told me I was holding you back. You said you needed a woman with ambition. Then you blocked my number." Marcus remembered. He felt sick. "I was 28 years old. I worked at Sam's Diner. I found out I was pregnant with quadruplets. 4 babies, Marcus. I had no family. I had no money. I stayed in a shelter for single mothers." Marcus stared at the table. He could not look at her. "After the boys were born, I worked 3 jobs. I cleaned offices at night. I served food during the day. I took online classes at midnight. I saved every dollar. 2 years later, I started a consulting business from my kitchen table. 3 years after that, I was a millionaire." Natasha opened her phone. She scrolled through something and turned the screen toward Marcus. "I kept all your text messages," she said. Marcus looked at the screen. He saw his own words, messages he sent 5 years ago. "Asterisk, you are lazy. You will never be successful. You are wasting my time." Marcus closed his eyes. "I read these whenever I wanted to give up," Natasha said. "They reminded me to keep fighting. They reminded me to prove you wrong. So thank you, Marcus. You helped me build my empire." Marcus finally found his voice. "Natasha, please. I did not know. I did not know you were pregnant. You did not know because you did not care," Natasha said. Her voice was steady. "You left me because you were embarrassed. Your business partners asked why you were dating a waitress, so you threw me away." "I was wrong," Marcus said. His voice cracked. "I was so wrong. Please let me explain." "There is nothing to explain," Natasha said. She stood up. "This meeting was never about business, Marcus. I knew you needed money. I heard your company is failing. I scheduled this meeting so I could see your face when you realized who I became. I wanted you to feel small, the way you made me feel." The 4 boys stood up. Elijah looked at Marcus. "Are you okay?" he asked. "You look sad." Marcus looked at the little boy, his son. He had Natasha's eyes. "Can I?" Marcus's voice broke. "Can I see them again? Can I be their father?" Natasha picked up her purse. She took Elijah's hand. "You lost that right 5 years ago," she said. She walked toward the exit. Julian, Marcus Jr., and David followed her. Elijah looked back at Marcus one more time before Natasha led him away. The door closed. Marcus sat alone at the table. The restaurant was silent. A waiter brought the check. Marcus paid with a credit card that was almost maxed out. He sat there for 20 minutes. He stared at the empty chairs where his sons had been sitting. He thought about Natasha's words. He thought about the text messages. He thought about the day he left her. He destroyed everything, not just tonight. 5 years ago, he destroyed his future twice. Marcus finally stood up. He walked out of the restaurant into the cold November night. The wind cut through his suit. He got into his car and sat in the driver's seat. He looked at himself in the rearview mirror. He did not recognize the man staring back. Marcus drove through the empty streets of Chicago. It was 11 o'clock at night. The streetlights blurred past his window. He did not remember the drive. His mind was stuck in that restaurant. He kept seeing Natasha's face. He kept seeing the 4 boys, his sons. Marcus parked in the garage under his apartment building. He turned off the engine but did not get out. He sat in the dark car for 30 minutes. His phone was on the passenger seat. It buzzed twice. Marcus did not look at it. Finally, he got out of the car. He took the elevator to the 15th floor. His apartment was at the end of the hall. It was a 2-bedroom unit with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. The rent was $3,000 per month. Marcus used to be proud of this apartment. Tonight, it felt empty. He walked inside and turned on the lights. Everything was clean and organized. Expensive furniture, a large television, art on the walls. Marcus looked around. None of it mattered. He sat on the couch. He put his head in his hands. He tried to breathe. His phone buzzed again. Marcus pulled it from his pocket. 3 missed calls from Tom. 2 text messages from Jennifer. Asterisk, we need to talk. Call me when you get home. Marcus put the phone down. He did not want to talk. He went to his bedroom and lay on the bed. He stared at the ceiling. He did not sleep. He thought about Natasha. He remembered the day they met. It was 5 years ago. He walked into Sam's diner for lunch. Natasha was his waitress. She smiled at him. She asked what he wanted to eat. Marcus ordered a burger. They talked for a few minutes. Natasha was funny. She was smart. Marcus asked for her phone number before he left. They dated for 6 months. Natasha worked long shifts at the diner. Marcus worked long hours at his company. They spent weekends together. They watched movies. They cooked dinner. Marcus was happy. But then his business partners started asking questions. Tom asked why Marcus was dating a waitress. Jennifer said Marcus could do better. They said Marcus needed someone impressive, someone successful. Marcus started feeling embarrassed. When clients asked about his girlfriend, Marcus changed the subject. When Natasha invited him to the diner, Marcus made excuses. He stopped introducing her to his friends. One night, Natasha asked Marcus about their future. She asked if he saw them getting married. Marcus panicked. He told her she was holding him back. He said he needed someone with ambition. Natasha cried. Marcus walked out. He blocked her number the next day. Marcus squeezed his eyes shut. He was a coward. He was cruel. He threw away the only real relationship he ever had because he cared more about what other people thought. And now he had 4 sons, 4 boys he never knew existed. 4 years he missed. Marcus did not sleep that night. He watched the sun rise through his window. At 7 o'clock in the morning, his phone rang. It was Tom. Marcus answered. Hello? Marcus, what the hell happened last night? Tom's voice was sharp. I don't know, Marcus said. His voice was rough from not sleeping. That was Natasha Monroe, the waitress you used to date? Yes? And those kids? They're mine, Marcus said. I didn't know. She never told me. Tom was quiet for a moment. Then he said, We got an email from Williams Enterprises at midnight. They're declining the partnership. Marcus closed his eyes. I figured. Marcus, that was our only option. Without this deal, Reed and Associates is done. I know. What are we supposed to do now? Tom's voice rose. I have a mortgage. Jennifer has 2 kids in college. We needed this. I'm sorry, Marcus said. Sorry doesn't fix this. Tom hung up. Marcus put the phone down. He sat on the edge of his bed. His company was finished. Everything he built was gone. The next 2 weeks were terrible. Marcus watched his company fall apart. Investors called demanding their money back. Clients canceled contracts. 3 employees quit. Tom and Jennifer stopped coming to the office. Marcus went to work every day. He sat in his office and answered emails. He tried to find new clients. No one was interested. Word spread fast in Chicago's business community. Everyone knew Marcus Reed insulted a billionaire CEO. No one wanted to work with him. On a Tuesday morning, Jennifer came to Marcus's office. She knocked on the door. Marcus told her to come in. Jennifer sat down. She looked uncomfortable. I got a job offer, she said. Marcus nodded. Where? Thompson Marketing. They want me to start next week. That's good, Marcus said. He meant it. You should take it. Tom got an offer too, from Carlson Group. Good. Jennifer looked at Marcus. What about you? What are you going to do? I don't know yet, Marcus said. Marcus, I'm sorry. About everything. It's not your fault, Marcus said. I did this. Jennifer stood up. She walked to the door. Then, she turned back. For what it's worth, I think you should try to see those boys. They're your sons. You deserve a chance. Marcus did not respond. Jennifer left. 2 days later, Marcus signed the paperwork to close Reed Associates. His lawyer, a man named Brian Phillips, brought the documents to Marcus's office. Marcus read each page carefully. Then he signed his name at the bottom. I'm sorry it came to this, Brian said. Me too, Marcus said. Marcus locked his office door for the last time. He put the keys in an envelope and left them with the building manager. He walked to the parking garage and sat in his car. 6 years of work. Gone. Marcus drove home. He sat at his kitchen table and opened his laptop. He checked his bank account. $4,300. That was all he had left. His credit cards were maxed out. He had no savings. Marcus looked at his lease agreement. His rent was $3,000 per month. He could afford 1 more month. After that, he would be homeless. Marcus spent the next 3 days searching for apartments online. He looked at places in cheaper neighborhoods. Most were too expensive. Finally, he found a studio apartment on the west side. The rent was $800 per month. The photos showed a small room with old carpet and a tiny kitchen. The reviews said the building was loud and the heat did not work well. Marcus called the landlord. A woman named Rita answered. Marcus asked if the apartment was still available. Rita said yes. Marcus said he would take it. I need first month's rent and a security deposit, Rita said. $1,600 total. I can bring it tomorrow, Marcus said. Marcus met Rita the next day. The building was old. The hallway smelled like cigarettes and fried food. Rita showed Marcus the studio. It was on the 3rd floor. The room was small. The walls were yellow. The window looked out at a brick wall. Heat is included, Rita said, but you pay electric. Okay, Marcus said. Marcus gave Rita $1,600 in cash. Rita gave him the keys. Marcus moved in 2 days later. He sold most of his furniture. It did not fit in the studio. He sold his leather couch for $200. He sold his dining table for $100. He sold his king-size bed for $300. He bought a used twin mattress from a thrift store for $50. Marcus packed his clothes in garbage bags. He loaded everything into his car. It all fit in one trip. He drove to the west side and carried his things up to the third floor. He set the mattress on the floor. He hung his clothes in the small closet. He plugged in his laptop. Marcus sat on the mattress. He looked around the studio. This was his life now. He heard his neighbors arguing through the wall. A man yelled. A woman yelled back. A door slammed. Marcus lay down on the mattress. He stared at the ceiling. He thought about Natasha's mansion in Lake Forest. He thought about his sons sleeping in warm beds. He thought about how different their lives were from his. 3 days later, Marcus received a letter in the mail. The envelope had a return address for a law office in downtown Chicago. Marcus recognized the name. It was Natasha's lawyer. Marcus opened the envelope. Inside was a single page. Marcus read it slowly. Asterisk, Mr. Reed. Miss Williams is willing to allow supervised visits with your children under the following conditions. 1. You must take a DNA test to confirm paternity. 2. You must attend co-parenting classes every Saturday for 6 months. 3. You must obtain stable employment. 4. You must write a personal letter to Miss Williams explaining your past behavior. If you complete these conditions, you may meet your sons. If you refuse or fail to complete these conditions, you will have no further contact. Please respond within 7 days. Marcus read the letter 3 times. Then he folded it carefully. He put it in his wallet. He had 7 days to decide. But Marcus already knew his answer. He would do anything to meet his sons. Marcus woke up the next morning on the thin mattress. His back hurt. The sunlight came through the small window. He could hear someone playing loud music in the apartment below. A car alarm went off outside. Marcus sat up. He pulled the letter from his wallet and read it again. Asterisk DNA test, co-parenting classes, stable employment, personal letter. 4 conditions, 4 things standing between Marcus and his sons. Marcus got dressed. He wore jeans and a plain shirt. He made instant coffee in the small kitchen. The studio apartment had 1 room. The kitchen was in the corner. The bathroom was tiny. There was no bedroom, just this one space. Marcus sat on the mattress with the studio apartment had 1 room. The kitchen was in the corner. The bathroom was tiny. There was no bedroom, just this one space. Marcus sat on the mattress with his laptop. He opened a job search website. He typed in his information. Marketing manager, sales director, business consultant. He sent his resume to 15 companies. Then he searched for DNA testing centers. He found one in Evanston, a suburb north of Chicago. The clinic offered paternity tests, results in 7 days. Marcus called the number. Good morning, this is North Shore Medical Testing. A woman answered. I need to schedule a DNA test, Marcus said. Paternity test? Yes. Do you have the other party's information? Marcus paused. The mother will send her information through her lawyer. That's fine. When would you like to come in? As soon as possible. We have an opening tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'll take it, Marcus said. The woman took Marcus's name and phone number. She gave him the address. Marcus was not divorced. He was never married. But the classes covered communication, shared custody, and putting children first. Marcus found a program at the Evanston Community Center. The class met every Saturday morning for 6 months. The cost was $200. Marcus looked at his bank account. He had $2,600 left. He needed money for food, electricity, gas. But he needed this class. Marcus called the community center. A man answered. Evanston Community Center. This is Robert. I want to sign up for the co-parenting class, Marcus said. Great. The next session starts this Saturday. Do you have children? Yes, 4 sons. They're 4 years old. Are you divorced? No, I just found out about them. Robert was quiet for a moment. "Okay, the class fee is $200. You can pay when you arrive on Saturday." "What time?" 9 o'clock in the morning. Bring a notebook and pen." Marcus wrote down the information. He thanked Robert and hung up. 2 conditions started. 2 more to go. Marcus spent the rest of the day applying for jobs. He sent his resume to 20 more companies. He applied for marketing positions, sales positions, consulting positions. He even applied for jobs below his experience level: assistant manager, sales associate, customer service. By evening, Marcus had applied to 50 jobs total. His eyes hurt from staring at the computer screen. Marcus made dinner, ramen noodles. He ate sitting on the mattress. He heard his neighbors arguing again. The man yelled. The woman yelled back. A baby started crying. Marcus lay down. He thought about his sons, Julian, Marcus Jr., David, Elijah. He wondered what they were doing right now. Were they eating dinner? Were they playing? Did they ask Natasha about him? Marcus fell asleep thinking about them. The next morning, Marcus drove to Evanston. The medical testing clinic was in a small building near the hospital. Marcus parked and walked inside. The waiting room was clean and quiet. Marcus checked in at the front desk. A nurse called his name after 10 minutes. "Marcus Reed?" Marcus stood up. He followed the nurse to a small room. She told him to sit down. "This is a simple test," the nurse said. She opened a package with a long cotton swab. "I'm going to swab the inside of your cheek. It takes about 10 seconds." "Okay," Marcus said. The nurse rubbed the swab against the inside of Marcus's cheek. Then she put the swab in a plastic tube. She sealed it and wrote Marcus's name on the label. "Results will be ready in 1 week," she said. "We'll send them to the address you provided." "Can you also send a copy to a lawyer?" Marcus asked. He gave the nurse the address from Natasha's letter. "Sure," the nurse said. She wrote it down. Marcus left the clinic. 1 condition complete. On Saturday morning, Marcus drove back to Evanston. The community center was a large brick building with a parking lot. Marcus arrived at 8:45. He walked inside and found the room for the co-parenting class. 12 people sat in a circle of chairs. Most were women. A few men. Everyone looked tired. Marcus sat down in an empty chair. At 9 o'clock, a woman walked in. She was in her 50s with short gray hair and kind eyes. She wore a cardigan and carried a large bag. "Good morning, everyone," she said. "I'm Dr. Paula Henderson. Welcome to co-parenting class." Everyone murmured hello. Dr. Henderson sat down. "Let's go around the circle. Tell me your name and a little about your situation." A woman with red hair went first. "I'm Michelle. I have 2 kids. I've been divorced for a year. My ex-husband and I don't communicate well." A man in a baseball cap went next. "I'm Frank. I have a son. My ex-wife and I share custody. We argue a lot." Marcus listened as each person introduced themselves. Divorce, custody battles, arguments, communication problems. Then it was Marcus's turn. "I'm Marcus," he said. "I have 4 sons. They're 4 years old, quadruplets." A few people looked surprised. Marcus continued, "I just found out about them 2 weeks ago. I wasn't there for the first 4 years of their lives. Their mother and I aren't together. I'm taking this class so I can meet them." A woman across the circle frowned. "You didn't know you had kids?" "No," Marcus said. "Why not?" Marcus felt everyone staring at him. "I left their mother before I knew she was pregnant. I didn't know." "Did she try to tell you?" another woman asked. Marcus wanted to explain. He wanted to say he blocked Natasha's number. He wanted to say it was his fault, but his throat felt tight. Dr. Henderson spoke. "Thank you for sharing, Marcus. This class is a safe space. We're all here to learn and do better for our children." The woman who asked the question looked away. After everyone introduced themselves, Dr. Henderson started the lesson. She talked about communication. She said parents need to listen without getting angry. She said children's needs come first. She said co-parenting is not about the parents. It is about the children. Marcus took notes. He wrote down everything Dr. Henderson said. The class ended at 11 o'clock. Everyone stood up and left. Marcus walked to his car slowly. He felt exhausted. Dr. Henderson called his name. "Marcus, wait!" Marcus turned around. Dr. Henderson walked toward him. "Can we talk for a minute?" she asked. "Sure," Marcus said. Dr. Henderson looked serious. "This class is going to be hard for you. The other parents will judge you. They'll ask questions. You need to be ready for that." "I understand," Marcus said. "You also need to take responsibility. You said you didn't know about your sons, but you left their mother. You blocked her number. That's on you." Marcus felt his face get hot. "I know." "Good," Dr. Henderson said, "because if you want to be a father, you need to own your mistakes. No excuses." "I will," Marcus said. Dr. Henderson nodded. "See you next Saturday." Marcus drove home. He thought about what Dr. Henderson said. Own your mistakes. No excuses. When Marcus got back to his studio apartment, he sat down with his laptop. He opened a blank document. He stared at the white screen. The fourth condition. Write a personal letter to Natasha explaining his past behavior. Marcus put his hands on the keyboard. Then he stopped. He did not know where to start. How do you explain why you destroyed someone's life? Marcus closed the laptop. He lay down on the mattress. He would try again tomorrow. That week, Marcus received 3 rejection emails from jobs. The other companies did not respond. Marcus kept applying. He sent out 10 more resumes, then 10 more. On Friday, Marcus's phone rang. Unknown number. Marcus answered. "Is this Marcus Reed?" a man asked. "Yes." "This is Carl Davis. I'm the manager at Home and Comfort Furniture on West Madison Street. You applied for a sales associate position." Marcus sat up. "Yes, I did. Can you come in for an interview tomorrow? Around 2 o'clock in the afternoon?" "Yes," Marcus said. "I'll be there." "Great, see you tomorrow." Marcus hung up. A furniture store. Sales associate. It was not marketing. It was not management. But it was a job. Marcus needed a job. Marcus arrived at Home and Comfort Furniture at 1:45 on Saturday afternoon. The store was on West Madison Street, in a strip mall. The building was large with big windows displaying couches and dining tables. Marcus parked his car and looked at himself in the mirror. He wore his only suit, the same suit he wore to the Sterling room. He adjusted his tie. Marcus walked inside. The store was busy. Customers walked between rows of furniture. Salespeople in red polo shirts helped customers. The air smelled like new fabric and cleaning products. Marcus approached the front desk. A young woman with blonde hair looked up. "Can I help you?" "I have an interview with Carl Davis," Marcus said. "At 2 o'clock. "Oh, yes. Let me get him." She picked up a phone and pressed a button. "Carl, your 2 o'clock is here." A minute later, a man walked out from the back office. He was in his 50s with gray hair and a thick mustache. He wore a red polo shirt with the store logo. He smiled and extended his hand. "Marcus Reed?" "Yes, sir," Marcus said. He shook Carl's hand. "I'm Carl Davis. Thanks for coming in. Follow me." Carl led Marcus to a small office in the back of the store. The desk was covered with papers and catalogs. 2 chairs faced the desk. Carl sat down behind the desk. Marcus sat across from him. Carl picked up a piece of paper. Marcus recognized it. His resume. "So Marcus, I see you ran your own marketing company, Reed and Associates. Yes, sir, Marcus said. What happened to it? Marcus took a breath. It closed 3 weeks ago. Why? Marcus knew he could lie. He could say the economy was bad, and he could say he lost a big client. But Dr. Henderson's words came back to him. Own your mistakes, no excuses. I made bad decisions, Marcus said. I lost a major partnership opportunity. The company couldn't recover. Carl nodded. He did not look surprised. Marketing company owner to furniture sales. That's a big change. Yes, sir. Why do you want this job? Marcus looked at Carl. I need stable employment. I have 4 sons. I need to provide for them. 4 sons? Carl raised his eyebrows. How old? They're 4 years old. Quadruplets. Carl whistled. 4 kids at once. That's a lot. Yes, sir. You married? No, sir. Carl studied Marcus's face. You seem overqualified for this position. Sales associate pays $12 per hour. That's about $25,000 per year. You probably made 10 times that at your company. Money isn't the most important thing right now, Marcus said. I need honest work. I'll show up on time. I'll work hard. I won't complain. Carl leaned back in his chair. The job is simple. You help customers find furniture. You answer questions about products. You help load furniture into trucks. You work weekends and some evenings, 8-hour shifts. You'll be on your feet all day. I can do that, Marcus said. Have you ever worked retail? No, sir, but I can learn. Carl was quiet for a moment. He looked at Marcus's resume again. Then he put it down. I'm going to be honest with you, Marcus. I don't usually hire people with your background. Most people who run their own companies can't handle taking orders. They think they're too good for this work. Marcus met Carl's eyes. I'm not too good for anything anymore. Carl studied Marcus. Then he nodded. Okay, I'll give you a shot. You start Monday morning at 9 o'clock. Wear comfortable shoes. We'll give you 2 red polo shirts. You provide black pants. Thank you, Marcus said. He felt relief wash over him. I won't let you down. We'll see, Carl said. He stood up and shook Marcus's hand again. Welcome to Home and Comfort. Marcus drove home feeling lighter. He had a job. Condition 3 was almost complete. He just needed to show up and work. That evening, Marcus sat at his small kitchen table. He opened his laptop and stared at the blank document. The letter to Natasha. He had been avoiding it all week. Marcus put his fingers on the keyboard. He typed, *, Dear Natasha. Then he stopped. He deleted it. He tried again, *, Natasha. I'm sorry for... He deleted that too. Marcus closed the laptop. The words would not come. He did not know how to explain 5 years of cruelty in one letter. Marcus tried every night that week. Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night. Each time he wrote a few sentences and deleted them. Nothing felt right. Nothing felt honest enough. On Monday morning, Marcus started work at Home and Comfort. Carl gave him 2 red polo shirts and a name tag. Another sales associate, a woman named Angela, showed Marcus around the store. Couches and chairs are on the left side, Angela said. She was in her 30s with curly black hair. Bedroom furniture is on the right. Dining tables are in the back. Prices are on the tags. If a customer has questions you can't answer, get me or Carl. Got it, Marcus said. Marcus's first customer was an older woman looking for a new couch. Marcus showed her 3 options. She asked about the fabric. Marcus did not know. He found Angela. Angela explained the difference between microfiber and leather. The woman bought the microfiber couch. Angela made the sale. Marcus helped 5 more customers that day. He answered basic questions. He carried chair cushions. He swept the floor. At the end of his shift, his feet hurt. His back hurt. But he finished the day. Carl came up to Marcus at 5 o'clock. "How was your first day?" "Good," Marcus said. "I have a lot to learn." "You'll get it," Carl said. "See you tomorrow." Marcus worked every day that week, 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Sometimes customers were rude. Sometimes they asked questions Marcus could not answer. But Marcus showed up. He learned product names. He learned prices. He learned how to talk to customers without sounding like a marketing executive. On Thursday afternoon, Marcus helped a young couple choose a dining table. They could not decide between two tables. Marcus asked them questions. "How many people in your family? What style is your home? Do you host dinner parties?" The couple answered his questions. Marcus recommended the larger table. They bought it. Carl saw the whole thing. After the couple left, Carl walked over to Marcus. "Nice work," Carl said. "Thank you," Marcus said. "You're getting better. Keep it up." That Friday, Marcus received a large envelope in the mail. The return address was North Shore Medical Testing. Marcus opened it with shaking hands. The letter inside had official-looking letterhead. Marcus read the results. Asterisk DNA test. Results: paternity. Alleged father: Marcus Daniel Reed. Children: Julian Reed Williams, Marcus Reed Williams Jr., David Reed Williams, Elijah Reed Williams. Conclusion: Marcus Daniel Reed cannot be excluded as the biological father. Probability of paternity: 99.99%. Marcus stared at the paper. 99.99%. They were his sons. Officially. Legally. Biologically. Marcus made 3 copies of the results. He mailed one to Natasha's lawyer. He kept 2 copies for himself. On Saturday morning, Marcus went to his second co-parenting class. Dr. Henderson talked about managing conflict. She said parents should never argue in front of their children. She said parents should use calm voices. She said parents should focus on solutions, not blame. Marcus took notes. He wrote down everything. After class, Dr. Henderson gave everyone homework. "I want you to write a letter to your co-parent. Explain why your relationship ended. Be honest. Take responsibility. Don't make excuses. Don't ask for forgiveness. Just tell the truth." Marcus felt his stomach tighten. This was condition 4, the hardest one. That night, Marcus sat at his kitchen table again. He opened his laptop. He looked at the blank document. He thought about his childhood. He thought about his father leaving. He thought about his mother working 2 jobs. He thought about being poor and ashamed. Marcus started typing. This time, he did not delete anything. He just wrote, Asterisk Natasha, I need to explain why I treated you the way I did. Not to make excuses, just to tell the truth. Marcus kept writing. The words came slowly at first, then faster. He wrote about growing up in Englewood. He wrote about his father leaving when he was 7 years old. He wrote about his mother, Lorraine, working at a hotel and a gas station. He wrote about wearing second-hand clothes and being teased at school. 3 hours later, Marcus stopped typing. His letter was 4 pages long. He read it from the beginning. Then he saved the document and closed his laptop. Tomorrow he would read it again and again, until every word felt true. Marcus woke up on Sunday morning and immediately opened his laptop. He reread the letter he wrote the night before. 4 pages. He read every sentence carefully. Some parts felt too defensive. He deleted those. Some parts sounded like excuses. He deleted those too. Marcus spent 3 hours editing. He rewrote paragraphs. He changed words. He wanted the letter to be completely honest. When he finished, Marcus read it one more time from the beginning. Asterisk Natasha, I need to explain why I treated you the way I did. Not to make excuses, just to tell the truth. I grew up in Englewood, on the south side of Chicago. My father, Daniel Reed, left our family when I was 7 years old. He walked out one morning and never came back. My mother, Lorraine, raised me and my sister alone. She worked 2 jobs. She cleaned hotel rooms during the day. She worked at a gas station at night. I barely saw her. We were poor. I wore second-hand clothes from donation boxes. The other kids at school noticed. They made fun of me. They asked why my shoes had holes, why my jacket was too big, why I never had money for lunch. I felt ashamed every single day. I promised myself I would escape that life. I studied hard. I earned a scholarship to DePaul University. In college, I became obsessed with success. I wanted expensive things. I wanted people to respect me. I thought money would erase my past. I thought wealth would make me valuable. When I met you, I liked you immediately. You were kind. You were funny. You were beautiful. We spent 6 months together. I was happy. But then my business partners started making comments. They asked why I was dating a waitress. They said I could do better. They said I needed someone impressive. I felt embarrassed. When people asked about my girlfriend, I changed the subject. When you invited me to the diner, I made excuses. I stopped introducing you to my friends. I started seeing you as a reminder of my past. The past I wanted to forget. So I ended our relationship cruelly. I told you that you were holding me back. I said I needed someone with ambition. I blocked your number. I never looked back. I did not know you were pregnant, but even if I had known, I am not sure I would have stayed. I was a coward. I measured your value by your job and your income. I was wrong. I threw away the only real relationship I ever had because I cared more about what other people have thought than about you. I am not writing this letter to ask for forgiveness. I do not deserve it. I am writing to tell you the truth. I destroyed something beautiful because I was ashamed of where I came from. I was afraid of being poor again. I thought leaving you would make me successful. Instead, it made me cruel. I cannot change the past. I cannot give back the 4 years I missed with our sons. But I can tell you that I am sorry. And I can promise that I will spend the rest of my life being the father Julian, Marcus Jr., David, and Elijah deserve. Marcus *. Marcus printed the letter. He folded it carefully and put it in an envelope. He wrote Natasha's name on the front. Then he addressed it to her lawyer's office. Marcus walked to the post office on Monday morning before work. He handed the envelope to the clerk. She weighed it and put stamps on it. "This will arrive in 2 business days," she said. "Thank you," Marcus said. Marcus felt strange as he walked back to his car. The letter was gone. Natasha would read it soon. She would know everything. He could not take it back now. Marcus went to work. He helped customers. He answered questions about mattresses and dining chairs. He loaded furniture into trucks. His mind kept returning to the letter. That week dragged by. Marcus worked every day. He went to his co-parenting class on Saturday. Dr. Henderson asked if everyone finished their letters. Most people nodded. Marcus said he mailed his. "Good," Dr. Henderson said. "Writing that letter is one of the hardest assignments. But it is important. Our co-parents need to understand why things ended. Understanding creates space for healing." After class, Marcus drove home. He checked his mailbox. Nothing from Natasha's lawyer. Another week passed. Marcus worked. He went to class. He waited. At work, Carl noticed Marcus's improvement. Marcus learned all the product names. He knew which couches were on sale. He knew which mattresses were most popular. He started making sales on his own without asking Angela for help. One afternoon, Carl called Marcus into his office. Marcus sat down across from Carl's desk. "You've been here for 3 weeks," Carl said. "Yes, sir," Marcus said. "You're doing good work. Customers like you. You show up on time. You don't complain." "Thank you," Marcus said. Carl leaned forward. "I'm promoting you to assistant manager. You'll help me with inventory and scheduling. The pay is $17 per hour." Marcus felt surprised. "Really?" "You earned it," Carl said. "You'll start the new position on Monday." "Thank you, Carl. I appreciate this." "Keep doing what you're doing," Carl said. He handed Marcus a paper to sign. Marcus signed it. Marcus drove home feeling proud. Assistant manager, $5 more per hour. It was not much, but it mattered. That night, Marcus calculated his new income. $17 per hour, 8 hours per day, 5 days per week. About $2,800 per month before taxes. About $2,200 after taxes. His rent was $800. Electric was about $50. Food was about $300. Gas was about $100. Co-parenting class was already paid. That left him about $950. It was not a lot, but it was enough. Marcus went to his co-parenting class every Saturday. He learned about communication. He learned about setting boundaries. He learned about consistency. Dr. Henderson said children need parents who keep promises. She said children need routines. She said children need to feel safe. Marcus wrote down everything. He filled an entire notebook. 1 month after mailing the letter, Marcus received a phone call. It was a Tuesday evening. Marcus was eating dinner. Ramen noodles again. His phone rang. Unknown number. Marcus answered. "Hello? Is this Marcus Reed?" a man's voice asked. "Yes." "This is James Parker. I'm Miss Williams's attorney." Marcus's heart started beating faster. He put down his fork. "Yes?" "Miss Williams received your letter. She has reviewed your progress on the 4 conditions." Marcus waited. He could barely breathe. "You completed the DNA test. Results confirm paternity. You're attending co-parenting classes. Your instructor sent me a progress report. You have stable employment. And you submitted the personal letter." "Yes," Marcus said. "Miss Williams has decided to allow supervised visits with your sons." Marcus closed his eyes. Relief flooded through him. "However," James continued, "there are rules. Visits will be at Miss Williams's home in Lake Forest, 2 hours per visit. Miss Williams will be present at all times. If the children are uncomfortable, the visit ends immediately. Do you understand?" "Yes," Marcus said. "I understand." "Your first visit is scheduled for this Saturday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm emailing you the address now. Do not be late." "I won't be late," Marcus said. "Mr. Reed, Miss Williams is giving you a chance. Don't waste it." "I won't," Marcus said. "Thank you." James hung up. Marcus sat in his studio apartment staring at his phone. He was going to meet his sons in 4 days. Marcus immediately called Carl. "Carl, I need Saturday afternoon off. It's important." "You just got promoted, Marcus." "I know, I'm sorry, but I'm meeting my sons for the first time. Please." Carl was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "Okay, Saturday afternoon, but you need to work Sunday to make up for it." "I'll work Sunday. Thank you, Carl." Marcus hung up. He checked his email. The message from James Parker was there. The address in Lake Forest. Saturday, 2 o'clock. Marcus could not sleep that night. He lay on his mattress staring at the ceiling. What would he say to his sons? What if they did not like him? What if they were afraid of him? The next morning, Marcus went to a thrift store. He bought a children's book about dinosaurs, $5. He bought a small soccer ball, $7. He bought a pack of crayons, $3. He bought a book with questions for kids, $4. One gift for each son. Marcus wrapped each gift carefully. He used newspaper because he did not have wrapping paper. On Saturday morning, Marcus woke up at 6 o'clock. He showered, he shaved, he put on clean clothes, jeans and a button-up shirt. He looked at himself in the mirror. He looked nervous. Marcus left his apartment at 12:30. The drive to Lake Forest took about 50 minutes. Marcus did not want to be late. He drove north on the highway. He passed through neighborhoods. Small houses became big houses. Big houses became mansions. Marcus found the address at 1:30. He was 30 minutes early. The house was enormous. A long driveway, a fountain in the front yard. 3-car garage. Tall trees. Perfect green lawn. Marcus parked his car on the street. He sat in the driver's seat holding the 4 wrapped gifts. His hands were shaking. At 1:55, Marcus walked to the front door. He rang the doorbell. Natasha opened the door. She wore jeans and a white sweater. Her hair was pulled back. She looked at Marcus without smiling. "You're early," Natasha said. "I didn't want to be late," Marcus said. He held the wrapped gifts in his arms. Natasha stepped aside. "Come in." Marcus walked into the house. The entrance had high ceilings and a large chandelier. The floors were dark hardwood. Expensive furniture filled the rooms. Paintings hung on the walls. Everything was clean and perfect. Marcus saw photos on a table near the stairs. 4 boys at different ages. Baby photos, birthday photos, school photos. Marcus had missed all of it. "The boys are in the backyard," Natasha said. She walked through the house. Marcus followed her. They passed through a large living room, then a dining room with a long table, then a kitchen with white cabinets and marble counters. Natasha opened the back door. Marcus saw a huge backyard. Green grass, a wooden playset with swings, a soccer goal. 4 boys played in the sunshine. One boy built a tower with large plastic blocks. Another boy kicked a soccer ball. A 3rd boy drew on the patio with colored chalk. The 4th boy ran in circles asking questions. "Boys," Natasha called, "come here, please." The 4 boys stopped playing. They looked at their mother. Then they looked at Marcus. They walked over slowly. Marcus's chest felt tight. His sons, right in front of him. Natasha put her hand on the 1st boy's shoulder. "This is Julian." Julian had short, curly hair. He stood very still. He looked at Marcus with careful eyes. "This is Marcus Jr." Marcus Jr. fidgeted with his shirt. He stared at the ground. "This is David." David held a piece of blue chalk in his hand. He hid behind Natasha's leg. "This is Elijah." Elijah smiled. "Hi," he said. "Hi," Marcus said. His voice shook slightly. Natasha looked at the boys. "This is Marcus. He's your father. He's here to visit for a little while." Julian looked up at Natasha. "Why wasn't he here before?" Marcus knelt down on the grass. He wanted to be at eye level with the boys. He looked at Julian. "I made a mistake," Marcus said. "A big mistake. I wasn't there when you were born. I wasn't there when you learned to walk. I missed a lot. But I'm here now. And I want to be your dad." "Do you live with us?" Marcus Jr. asked. "No," Marcus said. "I live in a different place. But I want to spend time with you, if that's okay." Elijah stepped closer. "Do you like dinosaurs?" Marcus smiled. "I do." "Do you like soccer?" "Yes." "Do you like drawing?" "Yes." "Do you like questions?" Marcus laughed. "I like questions." Marcus held up the wrapped gifts. "I brought something for each of you." The boy's eyes widened. Elijah bounced on his feet. "Presents?" Marcus handed the first package to Julian. "This is for you." Julian took it carefully. He unwrapped the newspaper. Inside was the book about dinosaurs. Julian's face lit up. "Dinosaurs!" "I heard you like them," Marcus said. Marcus gave the second package to Marcus Jr. "This is for you." Marcus Jr. ripped off the paper. He pulled out the small soccer ball. "A soccer ball! Thanks!" Marcus handed the third package to David. "For you." David opened it slowly. Inside were the crayons. David smiled but didn't say anything. Marcus gave the last package to Elijah. "And this is for you." Elijah opened it and pulled out the question book. "What's this?" "It's a book full of questions," Marcus said. "We can read it together." Elijah flipped through the pages. "Cool!" Marcus Jr. held up the soccer ball. "Can you play soccer with me?" "Sure," Marcus said. Marcus Jr. ran to the middle of the yard. He dropped the ball and kicked it toward Marcus. Marcus tried to stop it with his foot, but missed. The ball rolled past him. Marcus Jr. laughed. "You're not very good," Marcus Jr. said. "I know," Marcus said, "but I'll try my best." They kicked the ball back and forth. Marcus missed a lot, but Marcus Jr. kept laughing. He seemed happy. David walked over to Marcus. He held up a piece of chalk. "Do you want to draw with me?" "Yes," Marcus said. Marcus sat on the patio. David handed him a yellow piece of chalk. David drew a sun. Marcus drew a house. David drew a tree. They drew in comfortable silence. Julian sat down beside Marcus. He opened the dinosaur book. "This one is a T-Rex," Julian said. He pointed at a picture. "That's a big dinosaur," Marcus said. "It's the biggest." "Well, not the biggest. The biggest is the Argentinosaurus, but the T-Rex is the most famous." Marcus listened. Julian talked about dinosaurs for 10 minutes. Marcus asked questions. Julian answered each one with serious detail. Elijah climbed into Marcus's lap. He opened the question book. "Why is the sky blue?" Elijah read. "That's a good question," Marcus said. "Do you know the answer?" "The sky is blue because of the way sunlight comes through the air," Marcus said. "Why?" "The light bounces off tiny pieces in the air. The blue light bounces more than other colors." "Why?" Marcus smiled. "That's a harder question. I'm not sure I know that answer." "We can look it up later," Elijah said. He turned the page. "Why do birds fly?" Marcus answered. Elijah asked another question. Marcus answered again. Inside the house, Natasha stood at the kitchen window. She watched Marcus with the boys. She saw him playing soccer with Marcus Jr. She saw him drawing with David. She saw him listening to Julian talk about dinosaurs. She saw Elijah sitting in his lap. Marcus was patient. He was gentle. He was fully present. He did not check his phone. He did not look distracted. He focused completely on the boys. The 2 hours passed quickly. Natasha looked at the clock. 4 o'clock. She opened the back door. "Boys, it's time to come inside," Natasha called. "Already?" Marcus Jr. said. "Yes. Say goodbye to Marcus." The boys stood up. Julian held his dinosaur book. Marcus Jr. held his soccer ball. David held his crayons. Elijah held his question book. "Do you have to go?" Elijah asked Marcus. "Yes," Marcus said, "but I'll come back, if you want me to." "I want you to," Elijah said. Marcus looked at Julian. "Is it okay if I come back?" Julian nodded. "Yes." Marcus looked at Marcus Jr. "What about you?" "Can we play soccer again?" Marcus Jr. asked. "Definitely," Marcus said. Marcus looked at David. "Can I come back, David?" David nodded. He did not speak, but he smiled. Marcus stood up. He looked at Natasha. "Thank you." Natasha nodded. "You can come back next Saturday, same time." "I'll be here," Marcus said. The boys waved as Marcus walked to the front door. Natasha walked him out. Marcus stepped onto the porch. "Marcus," Natasha said. Marcus turned around. "I read your letter," Natasha said. Her voice was quiet. "I understand why you did what you did. I don't excuse it, but I understand." Marcus did not know what to say. "Don't make me regret this," Natasha said. "Don't let them down." "I won't," Marcus said. "I promise." Natasha closed the door. Marcus walked to his car. He sat in the driver's seat. He looked back at the house. He could see the boys through the window. They were showing Natasha their gifts. Marcus started the car and drove home. He felt something he had not felt in a long time. Hope. Real hope. His sons wanted to see him again. They liked him. They asked him to come back. Marcus drove through Lake Forest, through the suburbs, back to his studio apartment on the west side. The neighborhoods changed. Big houses became small houses. Clean streets became rough streets. But Marcus did not feel ashamed anymore. He was a father. That mattered more than anything else. Marcus woke up on Sunday morning and worked at Home and Comfort. He helped customers all day. But his mind kept going back to his sons. He remembered Julian talking about dinosaurs. He remembered Marcus Jr. laughing at his terrible soccer skills. He remembered David's quiet smile. He remembered Elijah sitting in his lap, asking questions. Marcus could not wait until next Saturday. The week moved slowly. Marcus worked every day. He went to his co-parenting class on Saturday morning. Then at 1 o'clock, he drove to Lake Forest. He brought 4 small gifts again. A book about space for Julian. Shin guards for Marcus Jr. A sketchbook for David. A magnifying glass for Elijah. Nothing expensive, but each gift was chosen carefully. Natasha opened the door at 2 o'clock. She let Marcus inside. The boys were in the living room this time. They looked up when Marcus walked in. "Dad!" Elijah shouted. He ran to Marcus and hugged his legs. Marcus froze. "Dad." Elijah called him Dad. Marcus knelt down. "Hi, Elijah." "Did you bring more presents?" Elijah asked. "I brought something small for everyone," Marcus said. Julian walked over. "Hi, Marcus." "Hi, Julian. How was your week?" "Good. I finished the dinosaur book. I read it 3 times. Marcus smiled. 3 times? That's a lot. Marcus Jr. ran over, holding a soccer ball. "Can we play outside?" "After I say hi to everyone," Marcus said. David walked over slowly. He did not say anything, but he held up a piece of paper. It was a drawing. A house, a tree, the sun. 4 boys, a woman, and a man. "Is this me?" Marcus asked. He pointed at the man in the drawing. David nodded. "It's beautiful," Marcus said. "Can I keep it?" David nodded again. Marcus spent 2 hours with his sons. They played soccer in the yard. They looked at stars in the space book. They drew pictures. They searched for bugs with the magnifying glass. Natasha watched from inside the house. Marcus came back every Saturday, week after week. He never missed a visit. He always arrived on time. On his 4th visit, Julian asked Marcus about his job. "What do you do?" "I work at a furniture store," Marcus said. "I help people buy couches and tables." "Do you like it?" Marcus thought about the question. "I like working. I like helping people. It's not what I used to do, but it's honest work." "What did you used to do?" Julian asked. "I ran my own company, but I made bad choices and it closed." "What kind of bad choices?" Marcus looked at Julian. He was only 4 years old, but his eyes were serious. He really wanted to know. "I cared too much about money," Marcus said. "I forgot about the important things. People, family, respect." Julian thought about this. "But you learned, right?" "Yes," Marcus said. "I learned." On his 7th visit, Marcus Jr. asked Marcus to teach him soccer tricks. Marcus was not very good at soccer, but he practiced at home during the week. He watched videos online. He practiced in a park near his apartment. When Marcus came back the next Saturday, he showed Marcus Jr. how to dribble the ball between cones. Marcus Jr. tried it. He fell down. Marcus helped him up. "You have to keep trying," Marcus said, "even when it's hard." Marcus Jr. tried again and again. On his fifth try, he dribbled through all the cones without falling. "I did it!" Marcus Jr. shouted. Marcus clapped. "You did! That was great!" Marcus Jr. ran to Natasha. "Mom, did you see? I did the trick Dad showed me." Natasha smiled. "I saw. Good job." Marcus Jr. ran back to Marcus. "Show me another one, Dad." "Dad." Marcus Jr. said it naturally, without hesitation. On his 10th visit, David started talking more. He showed Marcus every drawing he made during the week. He explained what each picture meant. Marcus listened to every word. "This is our house," David said. He pointed at a big square. "This is the tree in the yard. This is the swing set. These are us." He pointed at 4 small figures. "Where's your mom?" Marcus asked. David pointed at a tall figure in a dress. "That's her." "Where am I?" Marcus asked. David flipped the page. "You're here, in this picture." The new drawing showed a different house, smaller, 4 boys standing in front of it, a man beside them. "Is this my apartment?" Marcus asked. David nodded. "Can we visit your house someday?" Marcus felt his throat tighten. "I would love that, but you have to ask your mom." On his 15th visit, Elijah brought Marcus a list of questions he wrote during the week. Elijah could not write very well yet. The letters were messy, but Marcus read each question out loud. "Why do people dream?" Marcus read. "I don't know for sure," Marcus said, "but I think our brains are working even when we sleep." "Why do we have to sleep?" "Our bodies need rest. Sleep helps us grow and stay healthy." "Why do you live far away?" Marcus paused. "Because your mom and I aren't together. But I visit every week, and I'll always be here when you need me." "Do you love us?" Elijah asked. Marcus looked at Elijah. "Yes, I love all 4 of you very much." "Do you love Mom?" Marcus glanced at Natasha. She was in the kitchen, but Marcus knew she could hear. "Your mom is a strong, smart person," Marcus said. "I hurt her a long time ago. I'm sorry for that. Right now, we're working together to be good parents for you." Elijah accepted this answer. He went back to his questions. 6 months passed. Marcus never missed a Saturday. The boys started calling him Dad all the time. They told him about school. They told him about their friends. They showed him their homework. On a Saturday in April, Marcus completed his co-parenting classes. Dr. Henderson gave him a certificate. She shook his hand. "You did excellent work, Marcus," she said. "You should be proud." "Thank you," Marcus said. "This class changed my life." "You changed your life," Dr. Henderson said. "You did the work. You took responsibility. That's not easy." Marcus drove to Lake Forest that afternoon. He brought the certificate to show Natasha. When he arrived, the boys were eating snacks at the kitchen table. Marcus showed Natasha the certificate. She read it. "Congratulations," she said. "Thank you for giving me this chance," Marcus said. After the 2-hour visit ended, the boys went upstairs to their rooms. Marcus stood up to leave. Natasha stopped him. "Marcus, wait. Can we talk for a minute?" "Of course," Marcus said. Natasha led Marcus to the kitchen. She made tea. They sat at the kitchen table. "I've been watching you with the boys for 6 months," Natasha said. "You show up every week. You bring thoughtful gifts. You listen when they talk. You answer Elijah's million questions with patience." Marcus nodded. He did not know what to say. "You're different from the man I knew 5 years ago," Natasha continued. "That man was arrogant. He bragged. He looked down on people. You're not that person anymore." "I'm trying not to be," Marcus said. "How's your job at the furniture store?" "It's good." Carl promoted me to assistant manager. The pay is better. I'm saving money. Are you happy there? Marcus thought about this. I'm grateful for it. Carl gave me a chance when no one else would. But do I see myself selling furniture forever? Probably not. Natasha sipped her tea. I'm going to offer you something. You can say no, but I want you to think about it carefully. Marcus waited. I'm offering you a job at Williams Enterprises, Natasha said. In the marketing department. Junior consultant position. The salary is $45,000 per year. You'll report to my marketing director, Kevin Torres. Marcus stared at Natasha. Why? Because you have talent. You ran your own company. You know marketing. You made mistakes, but you learned from them. And because our sons need to see their father succeeding. I don't want charity, Marcus said. This isn't charity, Natasha said firmly. If you don't perform well, you'll be fired. Kevin will not give you special treatment. You'll start at the bottom. If you work hard, you'll move up. If you don't, you're out. Marcus thought about Carl. Carl gave him a chance. Carl promoted him. Leaving felt wrong. Can I think about it? Marcus asked. Take a week, Natasha said. Let me know next Saturday. Marcus drove home. He thought about the offer all week. $45,000 per year. That was almost double what he made now. Working in marketing again, using his skills. But Carl trusted him. Carl believed in him. On Tuesday, Marcus talked to Carl. He told him about the job offer. Carl leaned back in his chair. That's a good opportunity, Marcus. I don't want to leave you without help, Marcus said. I'll be fine, Carl said. You should take it. You're too talented to sell furniture forever. Are you sure? Marcus, you showed up when you had nothing. You worked hard. You earned my respect. Now you have a chance to build a real career. Take it. On Saturday, Marcus arrived at Natasha's house. After his visit with the boys, he stayed to talk with Natasha. I accept the job, Marcus said. When do I start? Monday, Natasha said. 9 o'clock, 35th floor. Marcus smiled. Thank you, Natasha. I won't let you down. I know, she said. Marcus arrived at the Williams Enterprises building on Monday morning at 8:30. The building was a tall skyscraper in downtown Chicago. Glass walls reflected the morning sun. People in business clothes walked through the revolving doors. Marcus wore his only suit. He carried a leather folder he bought at a thrift store. He took a deep breath and walked inside. The lobby had marble floors and modern furniture. A security desk sat in the center. Marcus walked to the desk. I'm Marcus Reed. It's my first day. Marketing department. The security guard checked his computer. ID, please. Marcus handed him his driver's license. The guard made a temporary badge and gave it to Marcus. 35th floor. Elevators are on the right. Marcus took the elevator up. The doors opened to a large office space. Glass walls separated different departments. People sat at desks working on computers. Everything was clean and professional. A woman at the reception desk looked up. Can I help you? I'm Marcus Reed. I'm starting today in marketing. Oh, yes. I'm Angela. Let me take you to Kevin. Angela led Marcus through the office. They passed cubicles and conference rooms. She stopped at an office in the corner. A man sat at a desk looking at his computer. He was in his early 30s with dark hair and a sharp suit. Angela knocked. Kevin, this is Marcus Reed. Kevin looked up. He stood and shook Marcus's hand. Marcus, welcome. Have a seat. Marcus sat down. Angela left and closed the door. Kevin sat back down. So you're the new junior consultant. Natasha told me about you. Yes, sir, Marcus said. I'm going to be direct with you, Marcus. I don't care that Natasha hired you. I don't care about your personal situation. In this department, you earn your place. You understand? Yes, sir, Marcus said. Good. We're working on a campaign for a restaurant chain called Midwest Kitchen. They're expanding from Iowa into Illinois. They need a marketing strategy. You'll assist with research and data analysis. Kevin handed Marcus a thick folder. This is everything we have so far. Read it, learn it. I need a summary of their competitor research by Friday. Marcus took the folder. I'll have it ready. Your desk is outside, third cubicle on the left. Angela will show you. Marcus stood up. Thank you, Kevin. Kevin was already looking at his computer again. Close the door on your way out. Marcus found his cubicle. It was small with a desk, computer, and chair. Marcus sat down and opened the folder Kevin gave him. He read every page carefully. He took notes. He wrote down questions. Marcus worked through lunch. At 6 o'clock, most people left. Marcus stayed. He continued reading and taking notes. At 7:30, Kevin walked by Marcus's cubicle. He looked surprised. You're still here? Yes, sir. I wanted to finish reviewing the materials. Kevin nodded. Don't stay too late. See you tomorrow. Marcus worked until 8 o'clock. Then he drove home to his studio apartment. He ate a quick dinner and went to bed. Every day that week, Marcus arrived at 8:30 and stayed until 7. He completed the competitor research summary by Thursday. On Friday morning, he put it on Kevin's desk. Kevin read it that afternoon. He called Marcus into his office. This is good work, Kevin said. Thorough, clear, well organized. Thank you, Marcus said. Next week, you'll help prepare the client presentation. We present in 2 weeks. Marcus worked with the team for 2 weeks. He helped create slides. He organized data. He practiced the presentation. Kevin presented to the client. The client approved the strategy. After the meeting, Kevin pulled Marcus aside. You did solid work on this project. I'm glad I could help, Marcus said. Keep it up, Kevin said. Over the next few months, Marcus proved himself. He worked on 5 different client projects. He never missed a deadline. He stayed late when needed. He asked questions when he did not understand something. He treated everyone with respect. Other people in the department noticed. A woman named Sarah, who worked in social media, asked Marcus for help with a client proposal. Marcus spent 3 hours helping her. Sarah told Kevin that Marcus's ideas were excellent. Kevin gave Marcus bigger responsibilities. Marcus created a full marketing strategy for a small retail client. He researched their competitors. He identified their target customers. He designed a social media campaign. He presented the strategy to Kevin and the team. This is excellent work, Kevin said after the presentation. Really excellent. Marcus felt proud, but he stayed humble. Thank you. I learned a lot from watching you present. 6 months passed. Marcus continued working hard. Natasha never visited his desk. She never asked Kevin about Marcus's performance. But Kevin sent her quarterly reports. The reports said Marcus was exceeding expectations. Marcus still visited his sons every Saturday. The boys were now 5 years old. They asked Marcus about his job. I help companies sell their products, Marcus explained to Julian. I figure out what customers want and how to tell them about it. Do you like it? Julian asked. I do, Marcus said. I get to solve problems. I get to be creative, and I work with good people. One Saturday in December, Marcus noticed Elijah was quiet. Usually, Elijah asked 100 questions. Today, he sat on the couch holding his question book, but not reading it. Marcus sat beside him. Are you okay? My friend Tyler has a dad who lives with him, Elijah said. Why don't you live with us? Marcus looked at Natasha. She was in the kitchen, but she was listening. Your mom and I aren't together, Marcus said carefully. We're not married, but we both love you very much. Some families look different. That's okay. But I want you to live here, Elijah said. I know, Marcus said, but right now This is how our family works. I visit every week. I'll always be here for you." Elijah nodded. He did not look happy, but he accepted the answer. In January, Marcus received a promotion. Kevin called him into his office. "Marcus, you've been here for 1 year. You've done excellent work. I'm promoting you to senior consultant. Your salary will be $70,000 per year." Marcus felt shocked. "Thank you, Kevin. I really appreciate this." "You earned it," Kevin said. "Keep doing what you're doing." Marcus called his mother that night. He had started talking to Lorraine again a few months ago. He apologized for being ashamed of her. He told her about his sons. Lorraine cried and said she wanted to meet her grandsons. "Mom, I got promoted today," Marcus said. "Oh, Marcus, that's wonderful," Lorraine said. "I'm so proud of you. I'm making $70,000 per year now." "That's good money, baby. What are you going to do with it?" "I'm going to get a bigger apartment. I want the boys to have their own room when they visit." "That's a good plan," Lorraine said. Marcus spent 2 weeks looking for apartments. He found a 2-bedroom in Rogers Park, a neighborhood closer to Lake Forest. The rent was $1,400 per month. Marcus could afford it now. He moved in February. The apartment had a living room, kitchen, bathroom, and 2 bedrooms. Marcus set up 1 bedroom for himself. The other bedroom he set up for his sons. He bought 4 small beds from a thrift store. He bought toys. He bought books. He hung David's drawings on the walls. On the next Saturday, Marcus asked Natasha if the boys could spend the night at his apartment. Natasha hesitated. "I don't know. I have a room set up for them. I'll take good care of them. I'll bring them home Sunday afternoon." Natasha looked at the boys. "Do you want to sleep at Dad's apartment?" "Yes," Marcus Jr. shouted. "Can we really?" Julian asked. "If you're good." "Yes," Natasha said. That Friday night, Marcus picked up the boys. They brought small backpacks with pajamas and toothbrushes. They were excited. They ran around Marcus's apartment exploring everything. "This is our room?" David asked. "Yes, you each have your own bed." "This is so cool," Elijah said. Marcus made spaghetti for dinner. The boys ate at the small kitchen table. After dinner, they watched a movie. At 9 o'clock, Marcus told them it was time for bed. He helped them brush their teeth. He tucked each boy into bed. He read them a story. When he finished, Julian asked, "Can you leave the light on?" "Sure," Marcus said. He left the bathroom light on with the door cracked open. Marcus lay in his own bed. He could hear the boys whispering and giggling in the other room. Eventually, they fell asleep. Marcus felt something warm in his chest. His sons were sleeping in his apartment. He was their father. Really, their father. The next morning, Marcus made pancakes. The boys ate them with syrup and smiled. They spent the morning playing. Marcus took them to a park. They kicked the soccer ball. They played on the swings. They laughed. At 2 o'clock, Marcus drove the boys back to Natasha's house. When they arrived, the boys ran inside to tell their mother about their weekend. "We stayed at Dad's apartment," Elijah said. "He made us pancakes," Marcus Jr. said. "We have our own room," Julian said. Natasha smiled. "Did you have fun?" "Yes," all 4 boys said. After the boys went upstairs, Natasha looked at Marcus. "Thank you for taking good care of them." "Always," Marcus said. Marcus started spending every other weekend with his sons. They stayed at his apartment on Friday and Saturday nights. Marcus cooked meals for them. He helped with homework. He played games with them. He read bedtime stories. The boys were now 6 years old. They asked more questions, harder questions. One Friday night, Julian was eating dinner at Marcus's apartment. He put down his fork. and looked at Marcus. "Dad, why weren't you there when we were born?" Marcus froze. Marcus Jr., David, and Elijah stopped eating. They all looked at Marcus. "That's a big question," Marcus said carefully. "I'll explain when you're older." "I'm older now," Julian said. "I'm 6. I want to know." "Me too," Marcus Jr. said. Marcus looked at his sons. They deserved the truth, but he did not want to tell them alone. He needed Natasha there. "Let me talk to your mom," Marcus said. "We'll explain everything together, okay?" Julian nodded, but he did not look satisfied. That Sunday, Marcus drove the boys back to Lake Forest. He asked Natasha if he could talk to her privately. They went to the kitchen while the boys played upstairs. "Julian asked me why I wasn't there when they were born," Marcus said. Natasha sighed. "Elijah asked me the same thing last week. Marcus Jr. asked why you don't live with us. They're getting older, they notice things." "They deserve the truth," Marcus said. "All of it. But I don't want to tell them alone. Can we tell them together?" Natasha thought for a moment. "Yes, we should do it soon." "Next Saturday?" "Next Saturday," Marcus agreed. The following Saturday, Marcus arrived at Natasha's house at 1 o'clock. Natasha told the boys they needed to have an important family talk. The boys came downstairs and sat on the couch. Marcus and Natasha sat in chairs across from them. The boys looked nervous. Elijah's eyes were wide. "Are we in trouble?" "No," Natasha said gently. "We just need to talk about something important, about our family, about the past." Julian sat up straight. "About why Dad wasn't there when we were born?" "Yes," Natasha said. She looked at Marcus. He nodded. Natasha started. "A long time ago, before you were born, your dad and I were dating. We were not married. We spent time together. But then some things happened. Your dad made some bad choices. He decided to leave. He moved away and stopped talking to me." The boys stared at Marcus. Marcus felt his chest tighten. Marcus continued, "Your mom is right. I made bad choices. I left her. I didn't know she was pregnant with you, but that's not an excuse. I should have been a better person." "Why did you leave?" Julian asked. His voice was serious. Marcus took a deep breath. This was the hardest part. "I left because I was selfish and scared. Your mom worked at a restaurant. She was a waitress. I worked at a company. My friends asked why I was dating a waitress. They said I should date someone more successful." "What's wrong with being a waitress?" Marcus Jr. asked. "Nothing," Marcus said quickly. "Nothing is wrong with it. It's honest work. But I was stupid. I thought a person's job showed how important they were. I thought having money and a fancy job made me better than other people." "That's not true," Julian said. "You're right," Marcus said. "It's not true. But I believed it back then. I felt embarrassed that your mom was a waitress. So I told her she wasn't good enough for me. I told her she was holding me back. Then I left. I blocked her phone number so she couldn't call me." David looked like he might cry. "You were mean to Mom?" Marcus felt his throat tighten. "Yes, I was very mean. I said terrible things, things I wish I could take back." Natasha spoke. "After your dad left, I found out I was pregnant, with all 4 of you. I tried to find him, but I couldn't. I had no money. I had no family nearby. I lived in a shelter for a while." "What's a shelter?" Elijah asked. "It's a place where people stay when they don't have a home," Natasha explained. "After you were born, I worked 3 jobs. I worked very hard. I saved money. I started my own company. I built Williams Enterprises." "You did all that by yourself?" Julian asked. "Yes," Natasha said. "I did it for you, so you would have a good life." Marcus Jr. looked at Marcus. "But why didn't you know about us?" "Because I blocked your mom's phone number," Marcus said. "She couldn't tell me. It was my fault, completely my fault. When did you find out about us? Julian asked. 2 years ago, Marcus said. Your mom and I had a meeting for business. I didn't know she was the CEO of Williams Enterprises. When I saw her, I was shocked. When I saw you four, I realized you were my sons. I knew immediately because you look like me. What did you do? Elijah asked. I tried to apologize, but your mom was very angry. She had every right to be angry. She told me to leave. Natasha continued, I was angry. Your dad hurt me very badly. He made me feel worthless. But I used that pain to build something. I worked harder because I wanted to prove him wrong. Did you prove him wrong? David asked quietly. Natasha smiled. Yes, I did. Marcus looked at his sons. Your mom is the strongest, smartest person I know. She built a billion-dollar company while raising 4 boys alone. I was wrong about everything. Wrong about her. Wrong about what makes a person valuable. So what happened next? Julian asked. Your mom gave me a chance, Marcus said. She gave me 4 conditions. I had to take a DNA test. I had to go to parenting classes. I had to get a job. And I had to write her a letter explaining why I treated her badly. Did you do all those things? Marcus Jr. asked. Yes. It took me 3 months. I went to classes every Saturday. I got a job at a furniture store. I wrote a letter telling your mom the truth about my past, about why I was so afraid of being poor, about why I cared so much about money and status. Why were you afraid? Julian asked. Marcus told them about his childhood. He told them about his father leaving. He told them about his mother working 2 jobs. He told them about being poor and ashamed. I promised myself I would never be poor again, Marcus said. But I went too far. I started thinking poor people were less valuable. I was wrong. Every person has value, no matter what job they have, no matter how much money they make. Elijah looked confused. But you're not mean now. No, Marcus said. I'm not, because I learned. I lost everything. My company. My money, my apartment. I had to start over. I worked at a furniture store for $12 per hour. I lived in a tiny apartment, and I learned that losing everything was the best thing that ever happened to me. It made me a better person. Marcus Jr. tilted his head. Are you glad you lost everything? Marcus smiled. Yes, because it brought me to you. It made me realize what really matters. Family. Love, respect, being a good father. That's real success. David spoke quietly. Do you love us? Marcus felt tears in his eyes. Yes, I love you more than anything in the world. All 4 of you. You're the best thing in my life. Do you love Mom? Elijah asked. Marcus looked at Natasha. She looked back at him. I hurt your mom very badly. I don't deserve her forgiveness. But she gave me a chance anyway. She's an amazing person. We're not together, but we're a family. We work together to take care of you. Natasha added, Your dad and I are not married. We probably won't get married. But we respect each other. We communicate. We both love you. That's what matters. Julian thought about everything. Will you leave again? No, Marcus said firmly, and never, I promise. I will always be here. I will never abandon you. How do we know? Marcus Jr. asked. Because I show up, Marcus said. Every Saturday for 2 years, I've been here. Every other weekend, you stay at my apartment. I help with homework. I coach your soccer team. I'm here, and I'll always be here. The boys were quiet. They looked at each other. Then Julian stood up. He walked to Marcus and hugged him. I'm glad you changed, Julian said. I'm glad you're our dad now. Marcus hugged Julian. Tears ran down his face. Me too. Marcus Jr., David, and Elijah joined the hug. All 4 boys wrapped their arms around Marcus. Marcus held them tight. Natasha watched from her chair. She wiped her eyes. After a few moments, the boys stepped back. Elijah looked at Marcus. "Can we play soccer now?" Marcus laughed. "Yes, let's play soccer." The boys ran outside. Marcus started to follow them. Natasha stopped him. "Thank you for being honest with them," she said. "They deserve the truth," Marcus said. "You're a good father, Marcus. You really changed." Marcus nodded. "I'm trying." "I forgive you," Natasha said softly. Marcus looked at her. "What?" "I forgive you. I don't forget what you did. But I see who you are now. You take responsibility. You love our sons. You show up. That matters." Marcus felt his throat tighten again. "Thank you, Natasha, for everything. You saved my life." Natasha smiled. "Go play with your sons." Marcus walked outside. His 4 boys were kicking the soccer ball. They were laughing. They called for him to join them. Marcus ran onto the grass. He was not perfect. He made terrible mistakes. But he changed. He grew. He became the father his sons needed. And that was enough. Marcus kicked the soccer ball to Marcus Jr. His son trapped it and kicked it back. 3 years had passed since that conversation. The boys were now 9 years old. Marcus was no longer a senior consultant. He was now a director at Williams Enterprises. He earned $95,000 per year. He had his own office on the 35th floor. People respected him, not because he was wealthy, but because he was honest about his failures. Marcus spoke at business conferences twice a year. He talked about accountability. He talked about second chances. He talked about measuring success by character, not money. Young professionals listened. They asked questions. They learned from his mistakes. Marcus lived in a larger apartment in Evanston now, 2 bedrooms, close to the boys' school. The boys spent half their time with Marcus and half with Natasha. They had 2 homes, but 1 family. One Saturday morning in June, Marcus woke up early. Today was Julian's championship soccer game. Marcus had been coaching Julian's team for the past year. They worked hard all season. Today they would play for first place. Marcus drove to the school where the game would be held. He arrived at the field at 9 o'clock. Parents were setting up chairs on the sidelines. Kids ran around, warming up. Marcus saw his team. 8 boys in blue jerseys. Julian was stretching with his teammates. When Julian saw Marcus, he waved. "Morning, Coach." "Morning, Julian. Ready for the big game?" "Yes," Julian said. His eyes were bright with excitement. Marcus gathered the team. "Okay, boys, this is it. Championship game. Remember what we practiced? Pass the ball, communicate, work together, win or lose. I'm proud of all of you." The boys cheered. They ran onto the field. Marcus looked at the stands. Natasha sat in the front row. Marcus Jr., David, and Elijah sat beside her. Marcus waved. They waved back. The referee blew the whistle. The game started. Julian played midfield. He ran fast. He passed well. He communicated with his teammates. Marcus coached from the sideline. He called out instructions. He encouraged the boys. The game was close. The other team scored first. Marcus's team stayed calm. They kept playing. With 5 minutes left, Julian got the ball. He dribbled past one defender, then another. He was 30 feet from the goal. "Shoot!" Marcus yelled. Julian kicked the ball hard. It flew through the air. The goalkeeper jumped. His fingers touched the ball. But it was not enough. The ball went into the net. The crowd erupted. Parents cheered. Marcus's team jumped and shouted. The score was tied. 2 minutes later, Julian got the ball again. This time he passed to his teammate. The teammate shot. Goal. Marcus's team was ahead. The referee blew the final whistle. They won. Championship. The boys ran to Marcus. They hugged him. They jumped up and down. Julian had tears in his eyes. "We did it, Coach! We won!" Marcus hugged Julian. "You played great. I'm so proud of you." Julian ran to the stands. Natasha hugged him. Marcus Jr., David, and Elijah tackled Julian with excitement. After the game, the family gathered in the parking lot. Marcus stood with Natasha and the boys. "Where should we celebrate?" Natasha asked. "Can we go somewhere with burgers?" Marcus Jr. asked. Marcus had an idea. "I know a place." Marcus led them to his car. Natasha followed in her car. They drove south through Chicago. The neighborhoods changed. Nice areas became rougher areas. They drove to the south side. Marcus parked in front of a small building. The sign said Sam's Diner. Natasha looked surprised. "Here?" "I thought it would be fitting," Marcus said. They walked inside. The diner looked the same as it did years ago. Vinyl booths, laminate tables, a counter with stools, the smell of coffee and fried food. An older man stood behind the counter. He was in his 70s with white hair. He looked up and his face broke into a smile. "Natasha Williams, is that you?" Natasha smiled. "Hi, Sam." Sam came around the counter. He hugged Natasha. "I can't believe it. Look at you. You did it. You really did it." "I did," Natasha said. "Sam, these are my sons. Julian, Marcus Jr., David, and Elijah." Sam looked at the boys. "4 boys. All yours?" "All mine," Natasha said proudly. Sam looked at Marcus. "And who's this?" "This is Marcus," Natasha said. "Their father." Sam shook Marcus's hand. "Nice to meet you." "You too," Marcus said. They sat in a large booth. The boys looked at the old menus. They ordered burgers and milkshakes. Sam brought the food himself. He sat down at the table for a moment. "Natasha, I remember when you worked here," Sam said. "You were the best waitress I ever had. Always on time. Always kind to customers. I was sad when you left." "I had to," Natasha said. "I had 4 babies and a dream." "And you made that dream happen," Sam said. "I see your company on the news, Williams Enterprises. I'm proud of you, kid." "Thank you, Sam," Natasha said. "This place gave me a start. I'll never forget that." Sam patted her hand. Then he stood up. "Enjoy your meal." The family ate together. The boys talked about the soccer game. They replayed every moment. Marcus listened and smiled. After they finished eating, Marcus looked around the diner. He remembered the first time he came here, 9 years ago. He saw Natasha in her waitress uniform. He thought she was beneath him. He was so wrong. Marcus looked at Natasha now. She wore jeans and a simple shirt. Her hair was pulled back. She looked relaxed, happy. She built a billion-dollar company. She raised 4 incredible boys. She was strong and successful. But more than that, she was kind. She was forgiving. Marcus looked at his sons. Julian wore his championship medal around his neck. Marcus Jr. was stealing fries from David's plate. David was drawing on a napkin. Elijah was asking Sam questions about how long the diner had been open. These boys were his legacy. They were proof that people can change, that mistakes don't define you forever, that taking responsibility matters. Marcus thought about the man he used to be, arrogant, shallow, cruel. He measured people by their jobs and bank accounts. He thought success meant money and power. He was wrong about everything. Real success was sitting at this table. Real success was coaching his son's soccer team. Real success was reading bedtime stories and answering Elijah's endless questions. Real success was showing up, being present, being honest. Marcus lost everything once. His company, his money, his reputation. But he gained something far more valuable. He gained his sons. He gained Natasha's respect. He gained his dignity. Natasha looked at Marcus. "What are you thinking about?" Marcus smiled. How lucky I am. Lucky? Lucky that you gave me a second chance. Lucky that our sons forgave me. Lucky that I get to be their father. Natasha nodded. You earned that chance, Marcus. You did the work. You changed. Marcus looked at his sons again. They were laughing at something Elijah said. Their faces were happy. They felt safe. They felt loved. Marcus's phone buzzed. It was his mother, Lorraine. She texted to ask about the game. Marcus texted back that they won. He sent a photo of Julian with his medal. Lorraine responded with heart emojis and said she was proud. Marcus reconnected with his mother 2 years ago. He brought the boys to meet her in Englewood. Lorraine cried when she saw them. She hugged each boy. She told Marcus she was proud of the man he became, not because he had a good job, but because he took responsibility and became a good father. Marcus also reconnected with his sister, Keisha. She flew in from Atlanta twice a year to visit. The boys loved their Aunt Keisha. She was funny and energetic. She told them stories about Marcus as a kid, stories that made Marcus embarrassed, but made the boys laugh. Marcus had a family now, a real family. Not perfect, but real. Sam brought the check. Marcus reached for it. Natasha reached for it too. I've got it, Marcus said. We can split it, Natasha said. Please, let me. Natasha smiled. Okay. Marcus paid the bill. They walked outside into the June sunshine. The boys ran ahead to the cars. Natasha and Marcus walked slowly behind them. Thank you for today, Natasha said, for coaching Julian's team, for bringing us here, for being a good father. Thank you for giving me the chance, Marcus said. They reached the cars. The boys climbed into Natasha's car. They waved goodbye to Marcus. Marcus waved back. Marcus drove home to his apartment. He thought about the day he walked into the Sterling room 3 years ago. He thought about seeing Natasha for the first time in 5 years. He thought about meeting his sons. He thought about the shame and regret he felt. That moment destroyed him, but it also saved him. It forced him to face the man he was. It forced him to become the man he needed to be. Marcus parked his car and walked up to his apartment. He saw David's drawings on the walls, Julian's books on the shelf, Marcus Jr.'s soccer ball by the door, Elijah's question book on the coffee table. Marcus sat on the couch. He looked around his home. It was not fancy, it was not big, but it was filled with love. Marcus pulled out his phone. He looked at the photo he took today. Julian holding his championship medal, smiling, happy, proud. Marcus smiled too. He finally understood what mattered. Not wealth, not power, not status. Family, love, respect. Being present, being honest, taking responsibility, that was real success. And Marcus finally had it. If you enjoyed today's video, I'm sure you'll love the next one. Don't waste time. Just click on the screen